God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. But God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows.
Welcome to Season 2, Episode 20 of Your Journey Is Not Over. My name is Tanya Pearson Randolph. This is my own personal journey, and the expressions and opinions are of my own. I own all the rights to my personal journey, and to Your Journey Is Not Over. Neither are to be used, copied, or edited in any way without my consent. Like I said in Tuesday's podcast, I do want to try and discuss self-love, or what I like to call the self-love journey. When you begin to travel down your yellow brick road, your healing journey, you most definitely have to include the self-love journey. Self-love is where what I call the magic is. The biggest part of the healing journey is learning to dissect your life and the imperfections of your life. And while doing so, you must allow yourself grace and a lot of love. Love for yourself. Loving you is the key, in my opinion, to be able to begin your yellow brick road, your healing journey. Along the journey, we are faced with some really hard memories, and hopefully some good memories somewhere in there too. I'm just going to speak for myself on this topic, and I hope many can relate. I have spent my whole life, ever since I can remember, doing for others, giving to others, putting others before myself. Again, I now understand that that was what I was taught by my grandma. Be a giver, not a taker. And of course, I've always been a people pleaser, just wanting everyone around me to be happy and feel loved. Going back to early childhood, of course, I watched my grandma be so self-sacrificing, giving to anyone and everyone. And with me being made to stay here and there with different family members, and with some, not all family members, making sure I knew I wasn't really wanted and that I was a burden. And of course, I had to hear it. Yes, in front of me. How it wasn't anyone's job to watch me, or the word was babysit me, while my mother ran the bars all weekend. Do you know how that makes a helpless child feel to have to hear stuff like that? Unwanted, and of course unloved. Some family members would even do that when I was at my grandma's house. Again, these family members had so much to say to me and my brother about our mom. Like it was our fault and it was not hers. But again, those same family members would smile and be so nice to our mom and never say the things that got said to my brother and I. Not to get off track, because we all know I have a habit of doing that, but my pen just flows. I just had a heated discussion with a friend not too long ago about this very thing. Long story short, my friend's granddaughter is dating this kid. They're 14 years old, so I don't know what it's called these days. So I'm just going to call it dating, okay? Anyway, God bless. He's a good kid, very eager, people pleaser, very polite. Actually, it reminds me of me. He's just trying to fit in anywhere and with anyone he can. A good kid, but from an unstable home. Again, kind of like me. First, let me say, I will battle for any kid, especially when I, with experience, have lived their life. Anyway, my friend kept saying she couldn't stand this kid. I'm inquisitive, so I wanted to know why. Her answer, she just didn't like his mom or the upbringing he has had. Okay, I had to speak up. Somebody's got to defend this kid. And yes, that's me. Well, first off, no kid asked to be born, let alone into a dysfunctional home. That kid didn't ask for that. None of us do. We have no choice but to learn to navigate, in most cases, learn how to survive. And, sadly, at a really young age, we learn to adapt and try to get through life as best as we can. She said, I don't like his mother, and I told him that. What? My heart dropped clear to my feet. She said some other words about his mom, too. By that time, I was in tears. Being honest, I was a mixture of heartbroken for this poor kid and mad that this poor little polite, people pleasing kid had to hear anything bad about his mom. Like I told her, those are fighting words. That is his mother. I was taught by my grandma that my mother brought me into the world. All I had to do is try and be respectful and love her. Not for the person she was, no. Not for the things that she did, no. But for the pure simple fact, she brought me in the world. Period. I asked my friend, what did he do or say? She said he just looked at her. So I, of course, being myself, Tanya, I say and ask things that others will only be thinking but won't dare to say. I'm known for that. I asked her, what if he would have said those things about your mom? She replied, well, my mom was close to a saint. Do you want to know my response? God bless you. We weren't all blessed with good moms. So please feel fortunate and grateful for the fact that you were given a good mom. Again, this kid was being judged on things that were beyond his control. We can't pick our parents. God does that. And kids are helpless to their environments. We play the cards that we're dealt as best as we can. There is no redeal in this thing we call life. We don't choose again our parents or our upbringing. And I will always defend any kids that somehow, as crazy as it is, has to pay or be punished for how they were raised or who they were born to. Again, kids like this kid needs kindness, needs love, needs acceptance, and needs safety. I'm speaking on experience, but the miracle is that, thank God above, I opened my friend's eyes to a completely different view of things, and I was firm in my words with her. I only get firm with my friends when it's something personal and something I'm extremely passionate about. I will fight for kids all day long. I have been there. I have knowledge because I have personal experience. The blessing is now she likes him, and I think she sees things with completely different lenses. We can dislike the parents and how others choose to live their lives, but we can never dislike the kids for things that are beyond their control. God bless. These kids have it rough enough inside their home. Let's show love, compassion, and understanding and kindness when they are away from their dysfunctional environments. Show a different world to these kids, another side to life. I had so many people show me love and kindness and understanding. My friends' parents all loved me, even though I was open and honest and upfront with who I was as a teenager. Shocking to me now to look back, but all my friends' parents trusted me. I think because I was completely open and honest about who I was, about smoking weed and drinking. I had a lot of amazing teachers and a really special guidance counselor that stepped in and was most definitely like a mom to me, a healthy, loving, kind mom to me. By the way, I haven't gotten to her yet on my journey, but she was amazing. I have had a lot of good, loving bosses, and a lot of nice, beautiful strangers have intersected with me throughout my life and showed me kindness and love. I'm so grateful, and I give gratitude to every single person that came into my life, and by the grace of God and directed by God to help me, to guide me, and of course, show me that there is still so many good, kind people in this world. And as I always say, Please be one of them. Please don't judge kids based on their parents, or who their parents are, or where they live, or how they live. We aren't here to judge. That's God's job, and He does that well. He's got that job mastered, down to a science. We are here to uplift, enlighten, love, give grace, compassion, and understanding. That's our job. And please don't make a kid feel less than because of their parents' actions. Again, it's out of the kid's control. Kids are innocent bystanders, born into a world of chaos and dysfunction by no choice of their own. And believe me when I say this too, kids don't need to hear negative, harsh things about their parents. These kids already know. I promise. It's still hurtful and degrading to have to listen to negative things about their mom or dad. Instincts tell us to defend our parents. So please don't put a child in that position where they feel torn or uncomfortable or self-conscious. Being one of those kids myself, I will just say, if we could change our lives or how our parents are, we would. I would have in a heartbeat. Nobody wants to live in chaos and dysfunction. Nobody chooses that for themselves. We are all born into that, and it's up to us to recognize right from wrong, again, lessons, and strive to be better, to do better. Again, I got off track. I truly again sat down to write about self-love. My pen just flowed. I pray before I pick up my pen, and gratefully, my pen just goes. Like I've said before, I channel in and I just get lost in writing. So, hopefully, whatever is needed to be heard by someone is written by me today. Next Tuesday, I will try again to discuss self-love. And here's what I chose for today. When you ask God, "Who am I?" hear His loving whisper. You are His precious child, handcrafted with care and purpose. Long before you were born, God was dreaming of you, shaping every detail of who you are, and with endless love. You are not only known by Him, but adored. In His eyes, you are a masterpiece, fearfully and wonderfully made, overflowing with value and purpose, even in moments when you feel small or unseen. Remember that God, you are always in His heart, always cherished. His love for you is deep than the ocean, more vast than the skies, and nothing can ever change the way He sees you. Completely loved, wholly known, and forever His. This concludes my podcast for today. Please join me next Tuesday. Listen in. And always remember, your journey is not over. God bless.
God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been